Hi everyone, this is Monolith back with Monolith's Mandatory Fun Factory. Today we're gonna take a little segue away from our other gaming to make a quick Cyberpunk video. I want to get more on that soon, but I need to finish this playthrough of Wolfenstein first. But I've been messing around in Cyberpunk, and this little thing just kind of stood out to me. It jumped out. It felt like something that I thought people would probably. I know I'm definitely not the first one to find this because a friend of mine shared it with me, and that's you know everybody. Well, I would say everybody, but I would say a lot of people, most people probably who are playing Cyberpunk right now, have learned that crafting is a pretty valuable part of the game, and whether or not you're spec'd into it or not, everybody's doing it to some degree or another. Whether they're just using it to upgrade their items, or whether they want to go full in on it, like me here, and actually, level up their crafting, you know, as a primary thing. I like to do it first just because I like to get access to the best gear as soon as possible, but obviously specking into other trees can be good as well because you get all those buffs to your combat and stuff that can, be equally valuable. But personally, I like getting all the shiny gear, so I usually go for the crafting first. But anyway, one of the things that can be really annoying with crafting is leveling crafting. And if you've actually worked on leveling crafting, you probably know what I mean. Because, typically speaking, if once you figure out what you need to craft, which, if you're not familiar, we'll just do a quick little overview. When you are leveling up crafting, you want to level up the items that require the most components. The most components and also have the highest cost. So, like, I would level up this tech shotgun rather than the double barrel shotgun because they're both 25, but this one sells for 96, right? And this one's 25, this assault rifle, but it only sells for 65, so that doesn't make sense. Certain categories of weapons and items, and see this SMG only sells for 46 and it's 25, so it doesn't make any sense to build the stuff that sells less, but costs the same amount. It's just honestly, I don't understand why they cost the same amount, or why they cost the same amount of resources, if they're, going to be different prices, but that's just whatever. The economy in this game is just completely, completely borked beyond belief because they didn't have anybody, they didn't hire an economist to help them with it, so, yeah, it's really easy to exploit, and I mean that's I guess good if you like doing that. Personally, I would prefer things to be, not completely borked, but I mean they are what they are. So yeah, I mean when in Rome, right? So anyway, you want to go with the items that cost that have the highest item count. I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive. Be like, oh, I don't want to spend as many resources on stuff to level it up because it'll give you more experience and thus level up your skill much faster. And trust me when I say this, the faster you level up your skill, the better. And with the amount of item components you can find around, if you are doing what you should be, which is looting absolutely everything in sight, and then sell everything, or not sell everything that sells for a high price, and then everything else that you can't, that doesn't sell for a good price, make sure to disassemble it if you can, especially weapons, or I guess I should say junk. Like, because sometimes you'll get junk that'll sell, like jewelry junk that'll sell for like 750, and obviously save that because when you break it down with disassemble, it doesn't actually disassemble into more valuable components. It just disassembles into the same junk. So definitely save that, which is also why I don't, after leveling up one character and getting it, I don't like the crafting perk Scrapper because it auto disassembles all your junk, which means all those 750 pieces of junk are getting auto thrown in the trash. And, that's a lot of money that's just going down the toilet. Maybe they meant for those pieces to disassemble into more valuable gear, but at the moment, they don't. So, don't take that perk. It's convenient, but it also is a giant waste of money. It'll just piss away lots and lots of potential money. Yeah, so like in the gray category, leveling up, I would go for the shotgun here. Just that's the best one to pick. Over here, when you get into these, Personally, I like to go for so none of these really. Oh, some of these sell for more, some of these sell for less. Some of these recipes you don't get access to right away when you're leveling stuff up, because some of the stuff unlocks as you open up higher levels of your crafting skill. So what I leveled with mostly was these jackets, because they have the same cost as some of these more expensive weapons. Not this jacket. That one's a waste of space. See how ridiculous that is? Same cost, resource-wise, but this one only sells for 28. This one sells for 224. Doesn't make any damn sense. The rest of the stuff is kind of, kind of no good. I don't know why, but this flame-resistant rocker jacket. So, yeah, just look around at the items when you go to crafting. Find your highest priced ones. You know, both in material cost and in resource and in sellback value. That's the other thing. Even with the perks, they allow you to like gain more resources, like a chance to gain more resources back. That really doesn't do you any good if you disassemble the items that you just made, because you're going to wind up having a net loss anyway, and you're better off just taking all those items you crafted and selling them back to a merchant, which I understand sucks, because the selling process in this game takes a while. I mean, we'll get into that later. I've been looking through. I haven't really looked through the config file very much, but maybe there's something that you can tweak in there to make the sell button go quicker, or maybe it's just baked into the game with how selling to merchants works. I'm not sure, but it is pretty atrocious when you have to sell several hundred of an item back to the merchant. You get a lot of money, but it takes so much time, which is why I recommend, if you're going to sell stuff to merchants, don't sell these crafted items. And in fact, if you don't want to waste your time selling those, you might be better off just breaking them back down. As I know I told you not to do that, but if you don't want to spend the time selling, which can take a little while, then I would just break them back down and sell components. Because if you're going to go, if you don't mind, I want to say exploitative, it's exploitative of the way the game is designed. It's not exploitative of some sort of bug in the game. The game was literally designed this way, and you're just exploiting the built-in mechanics the way they were put into the game. So I don't have an issue with that. If there was some sort of bug, like I was duping shit, then that would be another issue. And it's just, the game's easy enough as it is. There's really no reason to dupe anything, honestly. Like, you can easily, yeah, sure, it's a little more work to come over and get the components to make this. Look at this, completely borked, this char grenade. One common, one uncommon. You've probably already heard about this. And then it deconstructs back down to a whole plethora of other more expensive materials, which is ridiculous. But, that's an amazing way for you to convert, cheap materials into basically, I don't want to say free money, but easy money. Because it's not free, you still have to, whatever, make them all. One thing to watch out for when you're disassembling any item as well is to not select the item. They might have fixed this, but last time I was playing, if you selected an item and you disassembled it, or you tried to disassemble the item you had selected, it wouldn't disassemble the item, and instead it would just give you the experience, and you wouldn't get any resources, just the experience, and the item would stay there in your inventory. Obviously, I guess that's an exploit, so if you're looking to just get free crafting XP, that's a way to do it. But again, I don't like to exploit bugs in the game, because the game is easy enough as it is. So I'd rather just do things, spend a little more time doing things properly, as it were. It's just a nitpick thing of mine. You play the game how you want. It's not going to affect me any. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. So leveling up crafting is pretty easy. Once you go get one of these char grenades, I would recommend that. Go Google it. It's in, let me look. I'll go show you on the map right now, actually. Char grenade is down, not in Japantown, sorry. It's, down here in, yeah, Santo Domingo, okay? And then, oh, let me zoom up a little bit here. Yeah, okay, so it's in Santo Domingo, and it's right over in this area here. There's a, what's it called? Cyber Psycho over here, and it'll be right across the street from. And you can find it by just hitting a scan, and you'll see the little purple item pop up in one of the boxes on the ground, and you can just run over there and pick it up. It is a little bit of a drive, but once you unlock the rest of the map after, you know, getting out of lockdown in for the first chapter of the game, you can just take a few minutes to drive down there, pick it up, and if you plan on doing crafting as a primary thing, or even if you don't, it's a really easy way to make money for yourself, and I do highly recommend it. It's an easy way that doesn't involve you know, cheating and duping and shit like that. Which, again, if you want to do that, knock yourself out. But for all the people that don't want to do that, you know, here's a completely legitimate way to make, you know, money hand over fist. You won't make it as fast as if you're duping, of course, but you'll make more money than you really, you know, honestly, you'll ever need. So, with a little bit of time and effort. So yeah. So get the char grenade, you know, use that to, you know, create more resources out of these common and uncommon components that you should have lots of, and then go back and, you know, turn those into money. You know, don't sell the char grenades. They're not worth shit. They're worth 4 gold each. They're worth less than the components you put in. But the components that you get from them will multiply dramatically the amount of money that you invested. So yeah, do that. Anyway, but now we come to, I guess, the main point of this video, which was crafting can be a bit of a slog, because clicking the damn crafting button, if you are, say, wanting to craft a bunch of these jackets and whatnot, or like in this case, I'd be crafting a bunch of these shotguns if I'm going from at the purple tier here. The thing that sucks is it only takes 0.8 seconds for this crafting button to go whoop, you know, over there. It doesn't sound like a long time, but when you're crafting like 100, 200, 300, you know, whatever, it takes a while. Like it adds up real fast. And so what I found was you know, my buddy told me about it, and I checked it out, and I was like, this is pretty legit. Why don't I share this with some more people? Because this is pretty great. This, honestly, the little tiny change here made a huge world of difference in making crafting, leveling crafting, actually enjoyable, rather than like, oh my god, I have to level crafting, oh my god, this is terrible. And that was going and changing the timer. So this is a little bit of a cheat, if you want to call it that, because we're modifying the timer in which the crafting button takes the craft. So now, rather than he modified it down to be like 0.1 second, you know, and that was pretty quick. But I still found myself, if I was clicking quickly, that I would wind up clicking faster than the button would actually go, and so I'd miss a lot. It would miss a lot, and it would slow me down a little bit. And so I said, why don't we try it a little faster and go like 0.01 seconds? And that seemed like a good sweet spot. And now I can just sit here and can craft these as fast as I can click them. See, bam, 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 bam. Non-stop, just bam, bam, bam. You can see the materials just going down non-stop. So anyway, to show you guys how to do this, it's not very difficult at all. First thing that you got to do here is you need to open up your Steam client or wherever. If you don't have Steam, you're gonna, well, for Steam, let's do Steam first. For Steam, you go to the properties of your Cyberpunk game and your local files, and just browse, find out where your local files are at. Oop, damn it. All right, and then you're gonna want to go in here over to R6. Now, of course, if you don't have Steam, then you'll want to go to your Cyberpunk, you know, wherever your game is stored at. And then inside there, you want to go to the R6 folder and into config. And from in here, you're going to see all these different XML files. The one you're going to want to go to is called input contexts. Now, if you don't have... You can open it in Notepad if you want. I recommend Notepad++, which is a specialized notepad used for coding and reading code and editing code. And it shows it gives you a nice layout. Any kind of coding language, it looks awesome, and it makes it really easy to dig through it for specific things. Because as you can see, the scroll bar on the side here is like there's a lot. It's a big file. So it's like, say you come into the file, right? If you're using, Notepad++, then you can come in here and you can look for craft craft item, right? And then you'll go find next. You'll jump through here a few times until you get to where you have a timer next to the craft item, and you can see a few other things here. And this is where you would modify the amount of time it's going to take that button to click, or I guess push through or whatever. You have other stuff here too, like melee attacks, strong blocks, if you wanted to, like, cheat and make your melee attacks faster, your block faster, and all that fun stuff, and you want to be able to jump faster, all that kind of thing. Or pick up bodies, I guess. I didn't. Basically, you can tweak a whole bunch of stuff in here, but be careful because you might bork your game. So I just went to craft item, change the time from 0.8 to 0.01, and you save it, close it out. Make sure you also, when you do this, that you're doing it when the game is off, because if the game's on while you're trying to modify the file, then it's not going to work because the game's actively using that file, so it'll be in use and you won't be able to modify it. So do it before you start the game or close the game out, and modify it and then start back up, and then you'll be good to go, and you'll be able to sit here and craft anything with the swift click of a button. You don't have to wait. You don't have to sit there and hold your mouse down for a little bit longer. Maybe I'm just an impatient person, but that just it kind of bugged me when I was going through it, just because of the sheer volume of crap that I had to craft. So it was a bit of a problem. Anyway, this video has gone on probably a little too long. This is Monolith here with Monolith's Mandatory Fun Factory saying thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you out, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And let me know if there's anything else you'd like to know about the game, and maybe I can hook you up, or maybe if there's any other games that you'd like me to, look into, do commentary on. And anyway, yeah, thanks. Have a good night.